Time now for a must-read opinion page. Former Facebook product manager Frances Haugen writes for the New York Times a piece entitled, "I Blew the Whistle on Facebook. Europe showed us the next step." Quote, "The dryly named Digital Services Act is the most significant piece of social media legislation in history. It goes to the heart of what I've tried to do as a whistleblower who worked inside Facebook, make social media far better without impinging on free speech. Global companies had chosen profit-maximizing strategies at the expense of public interest before. We've seen it with pollution in the chemical industry, environmental damage in natural resource extraction, and predatory mortgages in financial services. What distinguishes the bad practices of these other industries from big tech is simple. There are laws holding them accountable. That's what government is intended to do in democratic capitalism. Use the law to steer the market back into alignment with the public interest. When concentrated monopolistic power privileges the few over the many and distorts how the free market operates, this kind of correction is vital." Andrew Ross Sorkin, could that happen to big tech as we know it, to the point where they can be held accountable?
I think the answer is yes, and I think increasingly so. And our good friend Donnie George raised the issue of this of this new law on Monday and what it could mean in the advertising space. But I think what's happening, and by the way, put into this sort of stew the Elon Musk purchase of Twitter.
Exactly.
And I think there's going to be a lot of folks in Washington who are going to have an even brighter spotlight on big tech. This European law effectively allows them to take up to 6% of a company's revenue,
Whoa.
if in fact they break the law. And so you have companies that are going to have to be on watch. And by the way, hard to create a service that works in the U.S. one way and works in Europe another way. So that's the other piece of this. What happens there may come here, whether the companies like it or not.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Peter Baker, we've heard so many people wringing their hands saying, oh, we want to reform big tech. We just don't know how. The Europeans have shown us here. The question is, will it stick in America? Could this pass?
Well, I mean, look, you're not going to lose a bet in Washington betting against Congress getting its act together, right? I think the fact of the matter is that there's such a partisan environment right now, and that tech is right in the middle of that. People have their very strong views about, what tech should do, but and there is, in fact, some overlap between Democrats and Republicans in some ways on this, but they view it through such a partisan lens as in which side is going to get an advantage over the other doing it. Now, the Europeans may force their hand. The Europeans may say, like, just economically, there's no way that they cannot address this without penalizing, in effect, the companies for having these mismatching laws. But, right now, Congress is basically stuck in the middle of, its own dysfunction.
It really is. It is. And Mika, we've talked about this for quite some time. It's crazy. You have people talking about the free market and Elon Musk taking over Twitter to save the free market. Well, it's a private company. Facebook is a private company. It's not, somebody said, it's not like the free market of ideas. It's not the town square. It's a coliseum that's built inside the city. And it's time that we stop treating these monopolies in Silicon Valley different than we treat every other company in America. There's no reason why they should be protected from the knocks and the bumps of a free market, and why they shouldn't be liable for the mistakes they made. But right now, they are.
All right, in about 30 minutes, President Biden will be updating the country on the war in Ukraine and asking Congress for an expanded aid package. Any minute now, the Supreme Court will be releasing more decisions as well. So a lot going on, all being covered live here on MSNBC.